Good morning. Welcome back to the show. Smile, everybody. Hey, it's James Rule XRP. Last night I broke out my Nikon camera and I got some really great pictures of the moon. There's 3 of them I posted here on X. I mean, the Coolpix P1100 has this like super zoom on it, and you could like really zoom in on the moon, and the moon was smiling last night. So I hope everybody's doing great. It's Monday morning. I haven't looked at today's news, but I'm pulling up some news that I found last night. I got all the tabs open on my MacBook. We're going to make it short and sweet, and we're going to make it happen. So as I was checking my emails this morning, I always get scam emails from all over the place. This one's from the Philippines. And do not click on links. Do not click on replies. Do not reply to emails. 99% of emails are scams. And this one came from the Philippines, bir.gov.ph, whatever. Bureau of Internal Revenue, Philippines. Who gives a shit? I'm in the United States, you dumbasses. It comes from Eber-no reply. Review your document. Do not click on review documents because most of the time these DocuSign documents are full of viruses. Do not click. Do not just delete all the damn emails because these sorry ass scammers are trying to take your money. So I was watching a video this morning. Rhinoa Poison loves fucking with scammers. And so what these sorry ass scammers are doing now, they want you to download like AnyDesk. It's a software that allows someone to access your computer. So what do these scammers do? Well, they attach themselves to your computer. They black out your screen for a minute, and then they add fake money to your bank account, which is not real. So say you got $1,000 in your checking account. They may black out your screen, and all of a sudden you got $100,000 in your checking account, which is not real. Do not let anyone attach themselves to your computer. Do not let anyone tell you to download software. Oh, it's a PayPal scam. It was an Amazon. You accidentally paid on your 99.9% of everything you get on emails, phone calls, texts, whatever are going to be scams. And all they want you to do is give a portion of that $100,000 back, which they didn't give you in the first place. So do not reply. Do not click on links. Do not download PDF files. Rhinoa is great at wasting their fucking time, and be safe out there. I'll leave a link to the video below. She calls up these scammers. She reports these scammers. She finds the IP addresses. She gets the emails, their banking information, and contacts the authorities. And it is humorous to watch how she stalls these scammers for an hour sometimes and wasting their damn time so they're not scamming somebody else. So, the reason I bring all this up is because there is a way to keep your cryptocurrency safe. And that's with iTrustCapital. I have a premium custody account. It is institutional grade custody. Nobody can touch my crypto. Not even iTrustCapital can touch my crypto. There's no monthly fees. You can trade 24/7, 365. There's only a 1% conversion fee. And get this, it's closed loop. So if anybody were to hack your account, it's going to go back to your bank as dollars. So check out the link below. Sign up for free. You could also convert IRAs, Roth IRAs. There's all kind of really neat things to do at iTrustCapital. Sign up below. I've been with them for over 6 years now, and they are freaking awesome, man. Let's take a look at numbers. Total market cap, $2.5 trillion. Bitcoin is 70,923. All of a sudden, the market is recovering. All of a sudden. Ethereum is 2172. XRP is I love you again, 143. All right, let's take a look at the news. So yesterday I posted a clip of Paul Barron interviewing Roger Baston, the head of digital assets at Franklin Templeton. And what Roger had to say about XRP was pretty amazing. He says, when you start using XRP, the network itself, which is the XRP ledger, there's a potential market out there. And that becomes the point where maybe I should own XRP inside of my overall portfolio. This is a 2-minute clip. I posted it yesterday. Everybody else shared it. Everybody else posted it. Have a listen right here, people.
You're right. It is a new opportunity, and it starts to represent maybe a new thinking from this next generation of it. I know a lot of family offices, a lot of private investment advisors and RIAs. they are really, there's a lot of them that are under the age of 40. So they understand this pretty well. And they've been kind of chomping at the bit to get going. Now they have some vehicles to really come to their investors with. So this could be one of those trickle down moments that we.
But what I'm reminded of is reading books by the famed Fidelity Magellan manager Peter Lynch all those years ago. He's like, if you wear Nikes, maybe you want to buy Nike stock. I guess the same thing applies for Warren Buffett with his consumption of Dairy Queen and owning Dairy Queen stock. The reason I'm bringing that analogy up is because I don't think yet a lot of institutions or organizations understand how they can use these distributed ledger technologies, these record-keeping systems inside of their information-based businesses. And I think that is the thing. When you start consuming, when you start using XRP, the network itself, to solve business problems for you, to help you to create efficiencies or create new utility or opportunities, that becomes the unpacking point where I think we're like, aha, I'm using this network. I need to use XRP to append, records onto this network. Oh, there's a lot of potential total addressable market that could be applied here. And so therefore, maybe I want to own some of that XRP, inside of my overall portfolio for that same reason. I think that's the tipping point. At least that's how we at Franklin Templeton came about it. We just tried to figure out how to use distributed ledger technologies in the securities businesses that we're in. And once we unpacked that, these are going to be used by lots of information-based businesses over time. And so therefore, let's figure out, which ones have value and how to invest in them.
There you go. Franklin Templeton. I tell you what, cryptocurrency, he talks about XRP. He talks about the XRP ledger. I met Sandy in New York last November. She's a part of Fidelity Digital Assets, or Franklin Templeton. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say Fidelity. Franklin Templeton Digital Assets. Oops, that's competition. I might get in trouble for saying that. But anyway, let's move on. Okay, John Squire gets this out there. Breaking XRP narrative just shifted. Ripple's Believe Lauren just said it clear. XRP is a utility token, not hype, not speculation. Real uses here. Listen to this clip.
Great. So, Lauren, let me turn to you and picking up on Gene's comments. Your Ripple's very focused on financial institutions and the institutionalization of digital assets. Tell us about the interplay. Do you see the tokenized deposits as a good base layer? And then where do stablecoins play? How are your customers or clients using the technology?
No, absolutely. I think it's really important to note that, I think it is a very good base layer. I think people think about different tokens for different use cases. So a lot of people are holding and investing into Bitcoin. Bitcoin is really a savings token. Ripple utilizes a token called the XRP token. That is a utility token. It was made to do cross-border payments. It was used to be able to utilize the RLUSD, which is also its own stablecoin. That's also a utility spending tool. And it is a very strong base layer to be able to then look at why people are using it. And then what does it generate for the end user? And I think that's something that we haven't really talked about yet on this panel, is you have banks and institutions, but who's at the end of all of that? There are 55 million Americans right now, 1 in 5 Americans that are holding and using crypto. They're equally divided by political party. They are equally divided across the country regionally. And they're going to start going to their banks, or they're going to start going to their Coinbase apps and wallets. And it's not just a holding or a savings technique anymore, but it's about how are they using that utility at the end. And that's where I think the banks are going to be coming around and looking to be really innovative in terms of how they're serving their customers.
So, I've been in this space. I've been in the world of crypto for about, 2017, 9 years now. And in the past, let's say 4 years or so, I've been a utility junkie. Years ago, I played around with the memes. I played around with this and that, trying to find the penny stock, the penny crypto, or whatever. Well, today I'm focused on utility. And the reason I am is because I'm growing with the world. Utility is the focus. Memes are fun for the kiddos, for the college kids. And some people out there might make millions of dollars off of this mysterious meme coin or dog or hamster or whatever coin that's created out there. But I'm strictly utility now. I'm too old for the bullshit. I'm not old, but I'm too old for the bullshit, if you know what I mean. Let's keep going. So I was messing around with SuperGrok yesterday, and I said, well, tell me the latest about Ripple. Give me the latest Ripple news, March of 2026. And this is what the AI spit out for me. Well, Ripple powers ahead. Institutional adoption at scale in 2026. Brazil expansion explosion. Full stack services launch. Payments, custody, trading, treasury. RLUSD stablecoin hits $1.5 billion market cap. New partners include Banco Genial, Brazabank, Nomad, VASP licensing incoming. Virtual asset service provider licensing incoming. Wall Street breakthrough. Ripple Prime, which was Hidden Road, joins the DTCC NSCC directory March the 2nd, connecting the XRP ledger to traditional post-trade clearing infrastructure, people. CEO priorities for 2026. Bragg Darlinghouse says that focuses on payments, custody, liquidity, and treasury management. Expect institutional adoption at scale, said President Monica Long. Bullish outlook. Top analysts predict 100% XRP upside to $3, over $3 this year. Current price is, 143, down from January 242 peak, but momentum building for the XRP ledger as the glue of institutional DeFi. 2026 is the year of Ripple, partnerships, expansion, and global financial revolution. I like the way that came out. So they eventually come around. This is Bloomberg. The operators of Wall Street's oldest exchanges are racing to wire crypto infrastructure into the traditional financial system. NASDAQ has been given the green light to tokenize stocks, to get it out there, to run in parallel in unison with the older system. Bringing the new in to run right beside the older, and eventually the newer is going to win the marathon. Fidelity Investments replied to a letter from the SEC from the Crypto Task Force asking for input. Well, Fidelity Investments, SEC Crypto Task Force written input, trading crypto assets on national securities exchanges and ATSs. March 20th, 2026 was their reply. Broker-dealer framework, tokenized securities, intermediated and disintermediated coexistence, on-chain integration, overall stance. Fidelity strongly supports integrating crypto assets and tokenized securities into the U.S. regulatory framework for broker-dealers and ATSs to drive efficiency, innovation, investor access, and market integrity. So key benefits is greater market efficiency and transparency, broader investor choice and protection, and responsible innovation under the Exchange Act. This is the documentation that was sent from Fidelity Investments to the SEC Crypto Task Force, Hester Peirce, from Robert Braceras with the General Counsel at Fidelity. And I'm not going to read through this. I pretty much just explained what it talked about. Summarize the executive summary. It talks about different things. They ask a lot of questions. It's a 5-pager. I'm not going to go through it, but I will leave it below because all of these major, financial institutions, financial brokers are starting to really wake up to cryptocurrencies and stable coins and blockchain technology and tokenization because it's the wave of the future. And if they don't accept it, and if they don't jump on board and maybe give their 2 cents or 3 cents, they're going to miss out. They're definitely going to miss out. So the next tab here, I was playing with SuperGrok yesterday, and I'll tell you what, I love this. I said, create me a David Schwartz Joel Katz toy from when he was at Ripple. And right here, it created this box with Crypto Legends Series number 1, David Schwartz, XRP Ledger Architect, the Wizard of Consensus, Defender of Decentralization. And right here it says, David Schwartz, CTO Emeritus at Ripple Labs, Master Cryptographer who built the XRP Ledger, special powers as lightning settlements and slaying FUD, which is fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Collect the whole Ripple Hero series. strength, visionary, and intelligence, cryptography master. And I said SuperGrok with Joel Katz. And I'll zoom in a little bit if it'll let me. Come on. Come on. It shows the white paper, consensus protocol, the XRP ledger computer, XRP, and then something over here. But if I zoom back and I click on what Grok responded with, well, Grok added the AI here. Grok actually posted this because I said SuperGrok with David Schwartz. So, wow. I mean, AI technology spitting things out there is just incredible. So, I hate to bring this up at the end, but this little rat bastard, Gary Gensler, has created his own podcast called Power and Consequences. And Digital Asset Investor said the irony is he's never had any consequences for his behavior. Ain't that the truth? You know, and at the top I said it's because of this sorry rat bastard, Gary Gensler, that the crypto space was delayed and many companies left the United States. How much did he pocket from regulation by enforcement? I mean, for the past years, Gensler said, come in and talk to us. Well, we're going to send you a Wells notice. We're going to sue you. You know, you have crypto. We can't tell you what your crypto is if it's a security or commodity. So we're going to sue you. We're going to take in billions of dollars. We're going to run you out of the United States. The little rat bastard, power and consequences. And Gary has suffered no consequences for all the bullshit he did. Pardon my language. It's Monday morning. I'm going to be making another video here pretty soon this morning sometimes. I'm going to get out and check the weather. It's kind of foggy this morning. I need to get out and about and move around. So make sure you subscribe to my channel, share my videos, and I'll see you in a little bit. And don't forget, people, I told you so.